So, Princess Vespa, at last I have you in my clutches, to have my way with you the way I want to. No, no, please leave me alone. No, you are mine. Not so fast, Helmet. Lone Star. Yes, it is me. I'm here to save my girlfriend. Hi, honey. Now you are going to die. Bam. Oh, oh. Hey, what did you do to my friend? The same thing I'm going to do you, big boy. Oh, oh. And to you. Oh. Now, Princess Vespa, at last we are alone. Oh, oh, I hate you. Oh, I hate you. You leave me alone. Yet, I find you strangely attractive. Of course you do. Jewish princesses are often attracted to money and power, and I have both, and you know it. Oh, leave me alone. No, kiss me. Oh, no, yes, no, yes. Oh, your helmet is so big.
I need the next line.
I didn't write it down.
Sorry, we're in now.
No, it's, sir, what? We've arrived. Okay, knock next time. Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your toys again.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, should I keep that going? But I did not.
Oh.
I like, what's his name? Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad he stopped working for a little bit because I feel like he was getting overutilized.
Well, he's getting typecast into neighbor next door nerd, specifically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
And then I think he was in a movie with Tom Arnold where Tom Arnold was like his bully from when he was a kid. And then he started bullying him as an adult or something like that.
That sounds so familiar. I forgot about this movie.
Yeah.
My favorite, Little Giants.
Oh, yeah.
Love Little Giants.
That's a classic. And then
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters is a great one.
I wonder if he'll be in the new Ghostbusters.
It would be nice to see him.
A little reprise.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm spacing on. Oh, what's that family one called? The diarrhea one. Slide into first.
Parenthood?
Yeah, Parenthood.
Yeah.
That was a different role for him,
Yeah.
but I liked it.
I heard they're doing a reboot of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Or a continuation, but also...
I think I heard that there's a continuation. I think if memory serves me right, it's a continuation, which... I mean, what is it? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in Tokyo. I mean...
Tokyo Drift.
Yep. I love that Tokyo Drift shrunking. That Fast and the Furious meets...
Classic.
Hi, Honey, Shrunk the Kids.
I'd watch.
And then just a whole bunch of legal street racing because they're in a house.
Oh, yeah. In Micro Machines.
And Van Diesel's in it, and it's family.
Yeah. Which he's also from the movie Pacifier as well.
Oh, yeah. But can only say, I am Groot.
Yeah. I love this mashup right now.
All right.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the intergalactic arena of the WWE. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary showdown like never before. In one corner, across from me, there's no corners right now, donned in menacing obsidian armor and fueled by the power of the dark side, we have the nefarious Dark Helmet, Timmy Criddle.
Oh.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
And in the opposite corner, a.k.a. right next to me, the savior of the galaxy, the daring space cowboy himself, Lone Star. Brett Williams.
Hey, it got lighter.
But wait, there's more. The wise and mystical merchant of the cosmos, the keeper of the Schwartz. Give it up for me, Jeremy Williams. One and only Yogurt.
All right. Hey, do you have any flamethrowers?
The kids love them.
The kids love them.
All right, and welcome to the Utterly Useless Podcast. Let's get going.
All right, merit badges. What do we got?
All right, so I'm going to start off with my merit badge here. My merit badge is kind of a one I got a while ago when I was in New York, and it's called The New York Loves Me. And I haven't done this one, right? Just to
I
make
don't
sure.
think so.
So when I was sitting down it was my last day there, and I was sitting down at a bagel shop, this guy walks by the window and blows a kiss at me. So New York loves me.
I'm glad that that's your merit badge because I want to get the I've never been to New York in my entire life merit badge. That's the goal right there.
That's the goal.
Me neither.
Well, technically you have it. It'd just be revoked.
I know. I don't want to have to hand it over and be like, well,
I like New York. It was fun.
I don't like big cities. Big cities, I don't like.
But yeah, I was kind of taken back. Like, what do I do? Do I blow a kiss back at this guy? And I just left stunned because by the time I figured out what I should do, he was past the window and I couldn't see him anymore. I was like, that was fun. Only in New York.
Okay, well, my merit badge this week is I'm titling it a satisfying moment merit badge. So have you ever seen those videos on the internet where someone does something and a perfect outcome happens? So like you shoot a hoop and it just swoosh.
Yeah.
Or you draw a perfect circle. Like that. Okay, I had a satisfying moment the other day where I was getting up for work and there was ice on my car in the morning, and I went to scrape it, and it just glided perfectly, and it just scraped it all off in one motion. The
whole like a sheet of
sheet of ice, yeah,
ice off your windshield.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow, I have never had that.
It was just, oh yeah.
It's like, can I do that again? Go to the car next to yours.
Nope. Fail.
It was so fun. It was just like, ooh, that felt good.
I can only imagine because I remember. I don't know if you experienced this when we were living in San Antonio, but were you in San Antonio during the freezing rain?
I was in Pleasanton, so
Okay.
south of San Antonio.
But you still got it then.
yes.
My favorite was we were trying to like get in the passenger side and then roll down the windows, and then because you just had that sheet of glass.
Oh yeah.
Punch through it. Oh. Movie like, and it was fun. Yeah, I can only imagine what you felt.
It's so good.
All right. So I was thinking about this being a merit badge, but then the more I thought about it, I think I need to go down the Timmy bandwagon and make this a pin. So, because it's one of those that I get every year, it just, the moments are different. And so the pin is the I am so proud of my students moment. And I'm sitting there, I'm on outside duty with a couple of the safety patrol students. And one of the sweetest girls goes up to me and just says, hey, guess what? We are trying to convince all of the younger kids, like the kindergartners, first graders, second graders, that the safety patrol closet has a secret closet called the candy closet. And I'm like, what? And they're just like, yeah, we're trying to convince them that there is a special room that only safety patrol kids can go into and retrieve candy. And the instant I heard this, I was just like, this is my personality rubbed off on you guys. I am so proud of you. In fact, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to give you a candy cane to walk out of yelling, candy closet.
That's awesome. I know your point of view is different than a kid's point of view, but are the safety patrol, are they the goobers? Or are they?
No, they're just nice kids. Like, I remember, I don't really remember many kids being on, I swear there's only 4 kids on the safety patrol when I was in school. The ones that always bothered me were the ones, I don't know if they did it at Upland when you were there, but the ones that bothered me were the hall monitors. We had hall monitors that would report you and rat you out if you were too loud exiting the lunchroom to go to the bathroom because, obviously we could just go straight outside to recess. But if we were to exit the lunchroom to go use the bathroom and then come back in. If we were too loud, the hall monitors would rat you out, and then you would like miss recess.
Yeah. No, I never had that. I just always felt like it was people that were outside during like the very end of school. And they would just be like, don't do that. And you're like, why are you telling me you're like on a power trip? Like, don't walk that way, or don't walk here. It's like, come on, just be there to protect people. Don't try and be there to like tell people what to do and not to do.
Yeah. The only thing that I tell the kids to do is just say, walk, please.
Yeah.
Because it's walk, please, and then go to the crosswalk.
Yeah.
Like those are the only things
Uh-huh.
I instruct them to do.
Yep. And that's great. I didn't know they still did safety patrol these days.
Yeah.
just-
I mean, most of it is there's always an adult. I'm trying to remember. I feel as though sometimes some of the safety patrol was on their own.
Yeah, I felt there was only one teacher that was in charge at a shift, and then a whole bunch of kids, like probably 6.
Yeah. And so, yeah, every single kid is at least with a minimum of one teacher. So it's almost safety patrol. Like their job is to get like the area ready with a key or with a flag or with cones. That's more or less the safety patrol.
Oh, okay,
So,
gotcha. All right.
Spin the wheel.
All right, we have Spin the Wheel, where we have 10 categories of questions. We're going to spin the wheel, decide who's going to be asking what. And I'm first, and I got, what would you have done? All right, pretty simple question. I mean, yeah, a question for you guys, but maybe more. You are on a field trip in a laboratory, and you were bitten by a spider. What would you do?
I think I'd say something. I'd be like, excuse me, sir. I've been bitten by a spider. Am I going to be okay?
Would you have killed the spider?
Oh, of course. I mean, it would be like,
Spider, you go splat.
exactly. I'd be like Homer from the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
I'd be like, smack the spider, flick it away, and move on with my day.
Did you turn that into like a poem? Smack the spider, flick it away, move on with my day. I see that. You have a mantra there.
It's beginning.
I don't know what I would do because I've never been bitten by a spider. Have any of you?
I have. I got bitten by a spider. I was visiting my friend up in Brigham. And it was one of those things where, like, even before it happened, I knew it was going to happen. There was a blanket, the bed was made, and he's just like, there's a blanket over there. And he's like, you might not want to use it. And my brain just goes, oh, well, I like a cold basement. He has, like, a refrigerator basement, which is fantastic. But I was just like, I also like being warm in a refrigerator.
Yes.
So I go and I grab the blanket, and I'm sitting there thinking, you should shake this out. It's like, nah, it's fine. And so I woke up with like 2 spider bites on my leg.
Oh, wow.
It's super, super itchy.
I wonder what kind of spider.
I know. Like, it was funny because I made mention to that to my sister, and she's like, you will send me a picture of it now.
Draw a circle around it.
That's exactly. Draw a circle around it. It might be a brown recluse or something like that. I was like, it's fine. I was like, no, this is what you're going to do.
The funny thing is so I hate saying this, but because people tell me all the time that there's brown recluses in Utah. Every single time somebody tells me that, I go to the internet to see if anything has changed. There's been like no documented cases of brown recluses, at least in northern Utah, like anywhere above like St. George and all that area. And even St. George is a super rarity because they can't live in places with cold. So, but Utahns really believe that there are brown recluses here. There's hobos, hobo spiders, which also bite.
We got those in Idaho a lot.
And then black widows, which is funny. I've only seen one black widow as a child my whole life, and it was at our old house. Do you remember that? I just remember now. There's a tree kind of in the middle of the hill. This is a side conversation, apparently. But yeah, I saw one there. Now, here at this house, just this last 3 months, I've seen probably 3 or 4. and they were huge. Like I saw this one with a butt that was bigger than a nickel, like just the butt.
Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, for the longest time, I'd only seen two. I saw one in California, and this person was just like, "Look, there's a black widow." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's neat." And it was so funny because the guy took like a small piece of saran wrap and just encased it and then smashed it within the saran wrap. And I'm like, okay. And then the other one was like about 3 weeks ago. It was in my garage. And yeah, I would probably say this one was, but was around about the size of a dime. But it was in my garage and I'm sitting there just looking at it. I'm like, I should do something. I'm like, but you know what? You're not bothering me. I'm not going to bother you.
I have a black widow living in my garage right now.
Oh, you do?
We named her Natasha.
Oh,
Natasha.
does she have a brother?
Natasha doesn't have a brother, does she? She has a sister.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Sister.
sister.
Maybe. She doesn't visit often then.
All right. Well, moving on next. Criddle, you're up and you get random question.
What is the worst Christmas ornament you've ever seen?
Oh man.
Anything made with toilet paper?
I mean, as I reflect on the ones that I made as a kid, I was not proud of the crepe paper ones where you would dip it into glue.
Oh,
You'd
yes.
have the picture on it, and then you'd, twist the crepe paper, put it in glue, put it on this thing, and it was always, you're making a like star, or you're making an orb, and here you are sitting there. You see the teacher's example, and it is near perfect.
Yes.
And then you have yours, which is just a abomination to eyesight.
The problem is crepe paper and the quantity of glue. As a kid, you never had a good ratio there with glue. And so it always like bled through and was like this big old splat that you push the crepe paper down and it's just soaking up all the glue.
Yeah. I mean, I even when I was a kid and would bring them home, and my mom, the first couple of years, first kindergarten, first grade, second grade, you'd be proud. Around third grade, it was just like, you don't have to put that on the tree.
Also, popsicle stick ones were kind of the lame
Yeah.
ones. Criddle, what kind of Christmas tree did you have growing up? We had kind of like, so every year our mom would buy us an ornament that represented that year for us. And so it was more of like a kid's tree. It wasn't like a pretty tree.
Well, I also ruined that as a kid too, because when I was around probably like the twins' age, we had glass ornaments.
Oh.
And I destroyed most of those glass ornaments.
Good job.
I mean, ours was just a modge podge of just random decorations. We didn't really do like a one ornament per year kind of thing. It was, I mean, because there were I had 3 other siblings. Like, I mean, growing up, it was, we brought home an ornament we made at school. Let's just put it on the tree.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's more or less what ours was like, just a hodgepodge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brett, you're up with Could You Fight It?
All right. So this is because of something that I've watched recently. So, as a 10-year-old, could you fight a coalition of parents who were devoted to not allowing kids to own a video gaming system?
I wonder what movie this was.
Sounds oddly familiar.
Can I fight a coalition? Like, not physically fight.
Yeah.
Is there snow?
There's a spot that is generally always slippery.
So when you say fight, you're meaning not like, so what kind of fight are you saying?
I'm saying, trying your best to disband, persuade these parents to move on to some other cause. Maybe just going up to them and like, hey, I hear there are some kids that think that Dungeons and Dragons are real and they're committing crimes because they've lost touch with reality. Like, what would you do if there was a coalition of parents that were devoted into, the evils of video games?
My first instinct is to go behind their back.
My 10-year-old
I mean,
self.
that kid was trying to go behind their back, and that's kind of my mentality. in case anybody's wondering what we're talking about, it's 8-Bit Christmas. Highly recommend.
Oh yeah.
I need to watch that now.
Yeah, we were gonna watch it last night, but then things happened.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Try and sneak around, but I don't know if I could like physically.
Yeah, as a 10-year-old kid, I'm trying to think of what I was pretty good at saving my money, my like chore money. So yeah, I think I would probably save up and just buy it. But then the hard part would be at that age, hooking it up and like doing that and concealing that without my parents knowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are these parents? They're very gung ho and not on like no gaming systems.
I mean, they say. We'll just say one of your parents looks like Steve Zahn and is really into just, house repair. And your other parent is a, middle school English teacher who is just kind of going with the flow.
And is this the 1980s?
Yes.
Okay. So then they really don't care how valuable it is. Today, I feel like there'd be a little more appreciation for the value, but yeah, I'd try and sneak around then.
Yeah, and I don't. 1980s parents, it's hard to, and 90s. I mean, 90s, my perspective more so.
Yeah.
Still very hard to persuade parents back then because, like, I mean,
You can't Google it.
you can't Google it. So, I mean, we had all those crazy things that we believed all the time, like the gangs were uprising all the time, and in Utah, nonetheless.
Mikey like killing himself by drinking soda with
Yeah,
the Pop Rocks.
exactly. Like all those things, and Dungeons and Dragons, and how it brings you to Satan worship and all that, and and there's just so many random things, the scares that they had back then. That I recently watched something about. There was a belief that there was like a massive like cult uprising in the 80s and 90s. There was none. There was like, it was just somebody took one story out of control and it just snowballed every time it got told. And that's what happens when you don't have like the internet, and then the media is not always
Honest.
like current.
Or not.
Or not. Yeah. So, nope, I got to go behind their back.
Okay.
Yep.
Or go over to my rich friend's house. And
See,
play.
that would be my go-to.
Yeah.
If my parents told me no, I'd be like, all right, but I do have a friend.
I mean, that's just kind of like trampolines. I used to just go over to a friend's house and jump on them.
Yeah, I just be like, well, I do not accept that answer. So
All right, I'm back up and I get lick off. Okay, you're at the zoo
Okay.
and you drop some of your lunch, and a monkey picks it up and puts it in his mouth. And then he spits it out. Do you lick it?
No. There's absolutely no dollar. Okay, $1 billion. There's
Does anybody get the movie?
yeah. I'm not gonna be your outbreak patient.
No, this is Osmosis Jones.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Bill Murray hit the hard-boiled egg. The monkey puts it in his mouth, and he fights the monkey for it back, and then he eats it.
I forgot about that.
And that's how he gets sick.
I just remember just the joy of just imagining like that's what goes on in my body all the time.
Oh, I still do very much.
yeah. No, it'd be $1 billion. That's
$1 billion.
if I'm gonna, because I need all the healthcare I can to possibly fight some sort of like new modified like disease that just barely, me doing that, it's just jumped to from just monkey disease to now human disease.
And we're going to call it the Brett disease.
Exactly. I mean, what was it? Oh, I was listening to something that's so funny. It goes to the Yankee player Lou Gehrig, and they're just like, he's like, do you know whose mother was the most incompassionate person in the entire world? Is Lou Gehrig's mom, because she called him that, he had to get that disease.
Such a mean mom. Such a mean mom. That's funny. Criddle, would you lick it? You can choose the food.
Well, is this a lick off or
It's a lick off.
okay?
You win. Because my price is $1 billion.
$2 billion.
You go down for like a penny, and I was like, no, it's yours.
I mean, $50. No. I'll do it for $999,999,999.
Okay, it's yours.
$1, Bob. Just kidding.
Closest without going over.
Oh, that's so gross.
You can choose the monkey too. Oh,
Probably some monkey that was experimented by Umbrella or something like that. Congratulations, you're now a zombie.
all right, Curly. You're up next with how much?
How much to live in a biodome for 2 years without a phone or internet?
Ooh, I would love that.
But there's TV? Question mark?
So just 1 second, because I know there's a movie called Biodome. I've never watched it, but I know it exists. So is this the premise of that movie?
Yeah.
The one with what's his name?
And I don't think there's TV.
Pauly Shore?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pauly
Pauly Shore.
It's just him and his buddy, right?
Yeah, there's no. I think it's just nature, a nature kind of thing. I don't think there's TVs or.
There's like no
computers.
books or anything. Because
I don't think so.
I could think. I think I'd survive if there was books, but I'm not sure.
I'd survive 1 week with books. And after that, I'd be like, how long has it been? Has it been a year yet?
Okay.
I'm not doing this. Oh, never mind. You said how much. I was about to say, how am I not doing this unless I'm getting paid? That's the point of this. Jeez.
Yeah, how much?
Well,
For 2 years, no internet.
Oh, 2 years. Oh,
no,
man.
No internet, no TV, no phone.
Hey,
for 1 year, this seemed more reasonable.
But again, could there be books? So is there like comic books or something like that? Because I don't think anybody in their right mind would do this for any amount of time if there was like the satisfaction of looking at a flower.
I will grant you the use of a Kindle tablet.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I could do this because then I would have all of the Marvel Universe app, the DC Universe app. I would be checking that out. I would be looking at, yeah. Oh, okay. This is doable. I would do it for.
Now, you only get one tablet. There's no replacements.
Batteries?
Nope. It's
Oh, but
rechargeable.
it's rechargeable.
It's rechargeable, but
And there's one outlet in the whole building.
there's one outlet in the whole building, and if you break it, that's it.
There's no kids in there.
No kids.
No kids. Let's see.
I figured you'd have more options with a Kindle tablet than like a plethora of like books.
Let's see. I would do it for $5 million a year, so $10 million, because I think that there would be some agitation, possibly some disgruntledness with your friend that is there, especially if there is the breakage of the tablet.
Now, if let's say there's two people living there, you get to decide, but only one tablet.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I'm counting. That's what I was understanding from what you said.
Yeah,
So
one tablet.
yeah, there could be some agitation, some whatever. So yeah, $5 million per year, so $10 million.
I'm thinking.
You get to pick who goes in there with you, I guess.
Oh, I'm gonna take Jeremy.
And we don't split the money, right? They get their own money.
No, they get their own cash.
Okay, cool.
I choose you, Jeremy.
Oh, thank you. I choose you, Bobby. What's his name? Billy? I choose you, Billy Brubaker. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. I want this to, be a good. I look at this as more of a sacrifice away from my life than I do like 2 years into this biodome. Like that's not the sacrifice of being in there. It's being away from my family, friends, media, all that stuff. So I want to get paid handsomely because I'm handsome. I'm going to ask for, I'm trying not to be too greedy here, but I am greedy. And it's 2 years of my life that I'm never getting back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask for 50 million. 50 million, and I will do this because then I'll be like, tell my family, I'm going to be gone for 2 years. I'm coming back. We're set for life. Okay? Good. This is a sacrifice I'm doing for us. Okay? But then I'll be so sad all the things I miss out with my kids.
Yeah. Just be like, just record everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just record everything. I'll watch it when I get back.
I mean, they can come up to your dome and do. You can't hear them, but you can see them.
That would be so sad. That would be so sad.
You get some sort of rudimentary marker and you're just like, oh, look, I'm monitoring the growth of my child or whatever. And then you come to find out that it's not even your family.
Come on, kids. We're going to go watch Dad in the Dome.
You're just sitting on the ground. They're sitting on the ground. You just keep waving to each other. Somehow you develop a sign language that's not an actual sign language.
She's signing like,
Oh, you have a Kindle. You might have a book on this. Be like, you learn sign language. I learn sign language.
Or Morse code.
Or
yeah.
Morse code.
Oh, yeah.
Do, do, do,
Morse
do, do.
code. Yeah.
Sign language is more beneficial.
I don't know. I think Morse code would be just because, like, because I'm not sure, is the biodome transparent? Because I don't think it is. I think
I thought it was.
I thought it was kind of opaque.
Maybe it's opaque, but like there's little sections of like clear. So you can get a little sunshine in.
Yeah. Then I guess if, you could do that, then yeah, I think sign language would probably be more beneficial.
Okie day. All right. Finish us off with Brett with What If?
All right. What if, this is so funny that like we're doing like movie stuff. So what if you were on the space station of love and you had two droids by the name of Tom Servo and Crow as friends, but an evil mad scientist was trying to drive you insane by watching bad movies? Could you be driven insane by constantly being forced to watch bad movies?
So exact same plot. Like I take breaks, but then I go back into it. Yeah. But I think I could have been driven insane even with good movies, just back to back.
I feel like with my kind of attitude, though, like I could get a lot out of bad movies. Like I like poking fun at bad movies.
I think I could definitely last long, but insanity would come.
I mean, Tom Servo, like, come on, Crow.
No, I love them, but that's what if I'm doing like the same thing every day, all day for years or days, months, whatever, I would eventually go insane.
Yeah, well, it's a matter of time.
Yep. But I think I could last like 2 months before it starts wearing on me.
Oh, wow. I was thinking 6 to 8 weeks. So, yeah.
See, I think I could do it longer than... I think actually the biodome would drive me more insane than this.
I think this would drive me... I think because I would be creative. Like this, you're being forced to watch a movie. The biodome, like if I went with one of you, I would, like, I don't know, find some rudimentary ball and we'd play something.
Let's go play catch
Or
with the rock.
we could play chess, just with rocks that we just determine or whatever. There's more creativity involved that could keep us sane, opposed to being forced to sit and watch a movie day after day after day. And like, I don't know how many movies he watches in a day.
Yeah, that's a good question. Because we only see about a 2-3 hour chunk of his life.
Yep.
All right.
All right. We have the return of channel surfing. We are going to surf the channel like we did in the 90s. Clicking that remote, next channel. Sometimes it's hard to decide which channel to stay on. And that's what we're going to simulate, is which channel to stay on. Or should you move on to a bigger and better channel that's potentially there or not? So I'm going to roll a D12, essentially. And the minimum's always going to be 4 channels. The last channel, once we run out, and you guys will not know which one's the last channel, will always be the weather channel, the most boring channel. And there's always at the end, for some reason, of every cable subscription, or I think it was always cable because it wasn't regular, like air broadcast. But yeah. And then I did appreciate when I did have the TV guide, though.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So here we go. Now I'm just getting my numbers here. Yeah, first. Okay. Turn on the TV. It's the movie Misery, 1990.
Pass. It's been a while since I watched it, but I remember hearing so many great things about it, and I don't think it's as great as it is believed to be. In fact, what was it? Speaking of something that I was hearing about, a either prequel or sequel to or a remake to, is Stephen King's Running Man. I think that is probably one of the best Stephen King's movies ever.
I'm going to pass on this one, Bob.
I've never seen this movie. I'd be interested to watch it because, I mean, I know the premise. It's very commonly spoofed or commented on. So next one is Primal Fear, 1996.
Would you read the synopsis? Because I think I know what this is about. I think this is Harris. If it's not Harris, it's Richard Gere.
That is correct.
And what's his face? Who is the Hulk?
An arrogant, high-powered attorney takes on a case of a poor altar boy found running away from the scene of a grisly murder of the bishop who has taken him in. The case gets a lot more complex when the accused reveals that there may or may not have been a third person in the room.
Richard Gere, Eric Bana?
No, not that Hulk. The pre-Mark Ruffalo Hulk.
Is it? Let's see. The names on here
Bana.
are John Mahoney, Alfred Woodard, Francis McDormand, Edward Norton.
There we are.
Oh,
Edward
okay.
Norton. Yeah. I watched this once when I was working at the video department. You know what? I'll watch it.
I'm going to go on to the next.
All right. So, Brett, you get a rating of 7.6 that we're just saying for funsies. All right. The next channel that Criddle moves on to is The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
Oh.
Never heard of this movie at all.
I'm gonna
and it has people I recognize their names.
I'm going to pass on this one.
Okay. The next movie is called Gone,
Gone? What year was it?
2012.
This.
Is this the Ben Affleck movie? No, that's
No.
Gone Girl.
No, this movie is, I want to say this is like a sports race car-ish movie or a running from the law type of movie. I can't remember. I know I've seen it.
Jill Conaway is trying to rebuild her life after surviving a terrifying kidnapping attempt.
Never mind, I haven't seen it. Because it sounds like the plot to most Lifetime movies.
Though she is having difficult times, she takes small steps towards normalcy by starting a new job and inviting her sister Molly to move in with her. Returning home from work one morning, Jill discovers that Molly has vanished, and she's certain that the same man who previously abducted her returned for revenge.
Pass.
You get to watch the Weather Channel.
Yes.
So here's an interesting question. What would be worse, watching the Weather Channel or Lifetime? I mean,
I think the Weather Channel. Well, if it's modern Weather Channel, I guess it's questionable now.
yeah, if it's Modern Weather Channel, it could be, almost sixes. But like, as you said, Gone, and I'm like, that is the synopsis. Like, my favorite thing is to come, like, go into my mom's room. And I'm like, hey, what you watching? She's like, oh, this is this great movie about this lady who was abused by her husband or boyfriend or whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Now she's getting revenge. And I'm like, are you watching Lifetime? And my mom, every single time whenever I say that, my mom's like, how do you know? It's the plot. It's the plot to every Lifetime movie.
Just a guess.
And it just sounds Lifetime-ish.
That, or sometimes I'll say that and my mom will be like, oh, have you seen this movie? I'm like, no.
Let me stop you there. If it's on Lifetime, no.
The only great thing that Lifetime ever brought me was watching How I Met Your Mother.
Yep, that's true. All right, round 2. All right, you turn on the TV. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Watching,
watch
that's my
it.
favorite one.
I'll watch it.
All right. Well, that was There was 10 options on this one, and you just spend it on the first one.
Yes, like that is my favorite of all of them. The new ones, I'm not watching I do not like the looks of the animation for the new one. It just looks...
The one, I was watching it last night. There's one that Seth Green does a voice for. I forget which Ninja Turtle he does, but I really like that one. But it's very dark. I'm always very surprised that that this is for kids. I'm like, what age group is this for? But anyway, the other ones you passed up on where I've never heard of Konosuba.
Nope.
It's an anime.
Okay.
Rush Hour 3.
Good.
Quiet Place.
Yeah, I'm still ahead.
This looks like a foreign film that's translated into The Class.
Okay.
The Good Liar.
Okay, still winning.
Hellraiser. Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2021.
Still winning.
The Huntsman's Winter's War. The Huntsman Winter's War.
Yep, still winning.
Never even knew that was out. That was 2016. Jeez. The Man in the Iron Mask.
Ooh.
I like The Man in the Iron Mask.
Those would be the two. So out of all of them.
Quiet Place and Man in the Iron Mask.
Yeah.
Oh, I think to me personally, and to each their own, but I think A Quiet Place is a one-time watch only.
It is one of those because and the intensity and all that.
But when you compare it to the other picks,
Yes.
like that would be third place of.
Oh yeah, that would be
The whole
third
thing.
place. But I'm trying to figure out which one would be better, Man in the Iron Mask or Secret of the Ooze, because
For me personally, The Man in the Iron Mask.
yeah.
I mean, if I would have watched Secret of the Ooze, it would just to be because it's been 20-ish plus years since I've seen it.
I'd still go with Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
And that's a 6.1.
What's Man in the Iron Mask?
The Man in the Iron Mask is 6.6.
Okay.
Super close.
Yeah, probably like some of those like foreign films were like 8.2 or something like that.
Let's see. The anime was 8.2. the Class is a flat 7. The Huntsman Winter's War was a 6.3. I hated the first.
Oh yeah.
One so much.
Sorry. When you say what's her face from Twilight is more beautiful than Charlize Theron,
Yeah.
like, you've already lost me.
Yep. It's true. All right, last round. So you turn on the TV, movie turns on. It's called Ed Wood, 1994.
Oh, that's a fun movie.
I have never heard of that. I'm looking at those pictures. I'm looking at the names of the cast. I want us to just say the names of the cast.
Isn't Ed Wood a Tim Burton film?
No,
No?
it's not. Oh wait, no wait. Ed, sorry. I was thinking Ed TV.
No,
sorry.
Ed TV's
this is
great.
Ed Wood. Yes, this is a Tim Burton film with Johnny Depp. This is
Yeah.
the actual kind of biopic
Yep.
of the person who gave us one of the worst movies of all time that everybody loves, which is Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yeah, it has Johnny Depp, Sarah Jessica Parker, Patricia Arquette,
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, and I can't see the rest of the names for some reason.
The only funny thing about it is just how odd Ed Wood was. My favorite part about the whole movie is they're shooting a scene. It is the clunkiest scene ever. And he's just like, great, next scene. And they're like, he's like, let's move to the next scene. They're like, you only wanted us to do it once. He's like, yeah, now we're going to go to the airplane, not in cockpit, or where they're like, where's the engine cockpit? He goes right there. And there's two just foldable chairs.
All right, next channel. You guys are both moving on, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess.
Raising Helen, 2004.
Next.
Sounds like a coming of age movie.
No, it's Kate Hudson and John Corbett, or Corbett and
Nah.
Joan Cusack.
Pass. No, Cusack? Never mind. No.
Hayden Panettiere. Helen Mirren. All right, next one. Paris, Texas, 1984.
No.
No.
Next one is called Red Joan, 2018.
No.
Pass.
Next one, Rambo 3, 1988.
Oh, we're getting close to the very end, I think.
I guess I'll watch.
Yeah. I think. Oh, no. I remember watching Rambo 3 next.
So, Krill, you're staying?
I will stay.
All right, you got a 6.1. Next one, Mary Poppins, 1964.
I'll watch Mary Poppins.
All right, it's a 7.6.
You win.
All right, the next one would have been Bloodshot, 2020 with Vin Diesel.
Ooh.
Next one was Ugly Truth, Katherine Heigl and Jared
Oh,
Butler.
that's a good one.
And then the last one was 7500, which I've been meaning to watch with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So, you all win because I don't really care. It's whatever you feel you did.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the only part that I really like about Rambo 3 is how Hot Shots Part 2 spoofs the very beginning with the gummy bears.
Oh, yeah.
That is how Rambo 3 starts.
That's funny. I think sometimes it's fun to do your homework on spoofs and see where movies come from. Like when we watched 0 Hour for Airplane.
Oh, that was so fantastic.
It was like, this is the same movie.
Exactly. This is the same movie, except Airplane made it funny and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
All right, now it's time for our recast. We are going to be recasting one of the greatest movies for Christmas. Greatest Christmas movies?
Question mark?
Question mark? Die Hard. And so we're going to be recasting John McClane, Hans Gruber, Holly Gennaro, a.k.a. Holly McClane, Sergeant Al Powell, which I never realized his name was Al Powell.
Yeah.
What were his parents thinking? Except I'm pretty sure maybe it was Alfred?
I mean, they're probably like, at least we didn't name him Lou Gehrig. I mean, that's just cursing him.
That's just cursing him. Ellis, which that one, I just wanted to add him on there. Ellis is the guy, if you're not remembering, that almost ruins the whole, like, what's the best way? He's a coworker of Holly who knows that Bruce Willis is out there, aka John McClane. And yeah. And then there's Argyle, which I just thought was great because he's the limo driver and he's not in it, but he's
in it.
He's in it and it's just fun. Okay. I wanted to.
Okay.
All right. So I get to go first. And this is hard for me because I'm pretty sure a lot of my cast you probably have thought of, but you're not going to pick it. So I'm not worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
The person I want to pick first is a Hans Gruber.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
But I have like a list of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so not that many. 4 people that are Hans Grubers, and they're all, in my opinion, pretty great.
Oh, now I'm worried because I only have one Hans Gruber, and if you pick him, I will be destroyed.
I'm worried about this too.
All right, I am going to pick. I gotta go with my gut. Christopher Waltz.
Oh,
Christopher Walken.
Waltz.
You can have him.
Who's that?
That is.
He plays in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, he has like kind of a unique accent. If you
Okay.
here, I'll show you a picture of him. He is.
Oh, yeah.
He's on a lot of shows. The one that comes to mind is the newer 2012-ish Three Musketeers.
Okay.
Where he plays the Cardinal.
Okay.
I knew nobody was going to get that. I wasn't
good.
really concerned. I'm not concerned if you guys still in any of mine.
All right. There's only one I'm actually concerned, but I'm going to get stolen from, but I'm going to cast it a specific way. And it would be something that none of you would do.
Oh, I don't know about it. Okay, Cradle.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I'm going to go with my Hans Gruber,
Okay.
and I'm going with Peter Dinklage.
Ooh.
Oh, I thought of that. I really did think of that. I was like, ooh, he would be unexpected, but that's a good one. I like
think
him.
I like Peter Dinklage. I think that would be a great pick for Hans Gruber.
No, I totally agree. All right. Okay, good. So I have the wheel. So I'm going to go with my Sergeant Powell because
Ooh,
this is
okay.
specific and this guy could be picked. But again, I have this guy set for this role specifically with specifications.
I'm interested because my Sergeant Powell is like meh.
Yeah.
So my Sergeant Powell is Ryan Reynolds in the
Okay.
fat suit from
Just Friends?
Just Friends.
That's awesome. I'm gonna put fat Ryan Reynolds. That's funny. That's a great Christmas movie too. Also, Just Friends. I like it.
Okay. So now I'm going to go with my John McClane.
Okay.
And it was one of those ones where I kept on going back and forth between a couple people. I'm going to go with James McAvoy.
Last night, after I had sent this out,
Uh-huh.
I asked my wife, I was like, for the person that I was leaning towards, I was like, should I give it up for James McAvoy? And she goes, no. And I'm like, is she right? And I kept on doubting her. And I was like, should I? And ultimately, I was like, okay, I won't do James McAvoy. But I have such a big love for James McAvoy. I don't know why. I don't know where it comes from, but I have one.
That's okay.
It's okay to love another man. Just kidding. All right, Criddle, you're back on the clock.
All right. Well, so I picked my Hans. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with my John McClane,
Okay.
and I'm going to pick Zac Efron.
Ooh, that was a good one. I like it. I mean, I thought about him. He was on the list for sure. I'm surprised you didn't go for Zac.
No, as a Zac Efron fan, it just doesn't seem...
It doesn't seem him.
Because believe me, I thought that's the reason why I went with Ryan Reynolds first, because in fact, I was pretty certain either one of you were going to take him as your first round for either, having him be John McClane, kind of a more serious role. I could see you, race swapping him being Argyle. I could see that as a possibility. So that's why I went with him. And I thought about Zac Efron, and being a Zac Efron fan, I mean, granted, we're just like only meeting away from being best friends. But yeah, I'd like to see how this plays out in real life.
Maybe with the rest of my cast, it'll be a bigger picture. Like, we'll see.
You're not going to have like a High School the Musical cast, are you?
No,
all right.
I've never seen High School Musical.
Neither have I.
I haven't either.
I
Don't ever plan on it, really.
Whenever somebody says like, that's like East High, I'm just like, yeah, I still don't care.
Yeah. Okay. So, and I got the wheel. So I'm gonna go with my John McClane. And so I had a little spiel that I'm gonna say about my John McClane and stuff. So I was thinking hard because I guess I know too much about Die Hard. So, and if you haven't watched the Netflix, like, what is it?
How it was made.
How it was made, like for Christmas special, and they had Die Hard. Like, you learn a lot of this there. So Bruce Willis was definitely not the first, second, third, fourth, or like fifth choice. They went through all the typical, like Arnold Schwarzenegger's and Sylvester Stallone, and I'm trying to think of all the other action people that they went through, trying to get somebody a little bit more action-esque. And Bruce Willis was coming from a TV show called Moonlighting. So not only was he making the huge leap from TV to movies, which that's where I went down. I was like, oh, maybe I should do the same. And it was funny because I was using ChatGPT to help me with some of these too. And ChatGPT gave me all the ones that I already was like, yeah, that's super stereotypical, like Chris Pratt, because he made the jump too. And he was a nobody kind of there in movies. And then I went John Krasinski. I'm like, man, you were just following in suit. And I already thought of those and dismissed them because they already made the jump from nobody to action movie hero people. And so I was like, no, it needs to be somebody who has not quite fully done that yet. But I couldn't find anybody that's TV-ish, so this is still a movie actor. Josh Hutcherson, a.k.a. PETA.
AKA Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah. So I just liked it because he just felt like kind of like Bruce Willis back in Die Hard wasn't like strong buff or anything. And so I wanted somebody like him, essentially, like Bruce Willis back in the 80s before he got buff. So that's my John McClane. And then I'm just going to do my Holly Gennaro. And Holly is going to be played by, her name's Florence Pugh, a.k.a. Yelena, the sister on Black Widow. It was funny that we mentioned Black Widow. But yes, I really liked her as... I was trying to find somebody that was like a strong woman, like the girl who plays Holly Gennaro, and yet compliments Josh Hutcherson. So yeah, that's where I ended up with Florence Pugh. Pew pew. And Krill, you're back on the clock.
Okay, I'm not super worried about my last few people being picked, so I'm just going to go straight down.
Now watch, he nabs 2 of them.
I'm not worried either, but I like you said, yeah.
So I'm going to just go with my... Let's see, I've done my John McClane. I've done my Hans. I'll do Holly.
Okay.
And we're going with Karen Gillan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You got mine.
That's actually a good one. Zac Efron across from Karen Gillan. I like it. That is a good one. I don't think I even considered her.
She's the only one I considered.
Well, now Brett does not have a Holly.
All right, so I'm going to move Holly to my last one as I reel from this.
Jeez.
All right, I'm going to go with my Hans Gruber.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Liam Neeson.
Ooh. He's a bad guy now. Has he
Yeah.
ever played a bad guy before?
Possibly, but
I mean, he's played...
not often.
He played a bad guy in Batman Begins, and...
Oh, yeah. That's true. Wow, space that. No, I like it. And he can keep his, Irish
Yeah.
accent?
All right, and now since I'm reeling from Holly Gennaro, I have 2 Argyles, which I don't care if either one of those gets stolen. So I'm going to go with my Ellis because I don't mind if this person... I think this guy is a slime ball in real life. I think Ellis is a slime ball. And I think that it would just match perfectly. And that is Seth Rogen.
That would be fun.
Yours has turned into a comedy.
I pretty much started out with Fat Ryan Reynolds there. I mean, like with Ryan Reynolds and Seth Rogen, I'm now curious on who you're going to have. Let's see. So you have your Hans Grover, you have Sergeant Powell, Ryan Reynolds, James McAvoy, and so I'm curious of who you're going to do for... I guess, no, you have all your main cast. I guess it's Holly now. It just comes down to Holly, who you're taking from you.
I know. Now I'm going to have to rethink my Holly.
All right. Who do you want for your... Oh, you already did your 2, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, Criddle, back to you.
Okay, I'm just going down the line. So we'll go with Sergeant Al Powell, and I'm going with Damon Wayans Jr.
Okay, I like it. He's played a cop before, and yeah, he's comical. I like it. That's kind of actually the route I went with mine. It's very somebody adjacent to that, and so I'll just put it out there now. I don't think most people know his names. It's Lamorne Morris, and he plays. If you've ever seen New Girl, he plays Winston Bishop. Winston Bishop. Yeah, is that right? Winnie the Bish. Yeah, Winnie the Bish. Have you guys? You haven't seen New Girl, have you?
No,
I know you haven't.
I keep seeing it pop up on my streaming. So I mean, maybe someday.
I think you should give it a go. It's funny. And it has, so the first season has Damon Wayans Jr. in it. And then, like the first episode does actually. And then it's funny because I watched both the shows that he was in at that time. He was in Happy Endings and in New Girl. And then his show with Happy Endings got renewed. And so then he left. and went right back to that. And so you don't see him again until Happy Endings gets canceled. Then he comes back. So it's just funny to see the dynamic behind the scenes. All right. So I did my Sergeant Powell, and I'm going to do my Ellis. My Ellis is Cillian Murphy, which I never knew his name. But Cillian Murphy is the guy who plays the Scarecrow on...
Oh, I was going to say, I know.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and Oppenheimer, yep.
I was going to say that name is very familiar.
I don't think I ever heard his name. I mean, I've seen tons of his stuff.
I thought his name was Cillian Murphy.
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know. It's a C. It starts with a C.
I don't know. I
It probably is Cillian Murphy, and people are shouting at me right now over the airwaves saying, it's Cillian. I don't know. Cillian.
Yeah.
Cillian.
Mr. Murphy. is
Mr.
your
Murphy,
choice.
if you will. That was a hard one for me to find somebody that could play annoying and, get killed.
Wait, which one was Murphy for you?
Ellis.
Ellis? Okay.
All right, Criddle.
All right. Well, my Ellis, I'm going with Tom Ellis.
Ooh. Remind me who that is. I'm just like, I thought I knew who it was for a second.
Is he from is that the Dracula? Not that Dracula. Who?
I don't know. He's from a show called Lucifer.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh,
yes.
I did see. Yes, I considered him for. I don't remember what role it was.
But he's like, I mean, he always wears a suit in Lucifer. I'm like, this is a perfect role for him.
Yeah, maybe it was this that I considered him. Nope, I appreciate it. Yeah, Lucifer, and the name, even if he's typecast as Lucifer, it kind of fits because this guy's like kind of devilish, sleazeball. All right, Brett, you're back up.
All right. So I'm going to go with my Argyle, and then I'm going to get my Holly out of the way because, I mean, I'll tell you, I just Googled actresses similar to Karen Gillan. Which, I mean...
I've done that same thing with ChatGPT.
So I'm going to go with Donald Glover as my Argyle.
That's a good pick.
He was my number one, but he's now my number two. So
Dang.
I'm so glad I had somebody else.
Donald Glover's a good pick for Argyle.
It really is.
And then I'm going to go for my Holly Gennaro, Amy Adams.
Okay. I think that's a great one. Amy Adams and Ryan. Oh, never mind. James McAvoy. I like it. I want to see your movie probably more than anybody else's, Brett, just because of how weird.
Well, I mean, and the reason why I chose Seth Rogen is I've been like in one of the more recent movies that he's been in, he actually plays like an evil creep.
What movie is that?
I don't know, but I listened to this. I watched this YouTube channel called Film Threat, and they are movie critics that basically watch every single thing, and they were talking about the casting. And initially, when this one serious movie was announced, they heard that Seth Rogen was in it, and they said that that's miscasting. And then they watched the movie, and they said that actually he can do a pretty good job of being a serious creep. And so I want to, and I think if he can do that, I hadn't seen the movie, but if he can do that, and he's also, I think it's easier for him also to play a slime ball. So I think that makes Ellis perfect. I mean, the only thing that I had the hardest time picking Sergeant Powell. And so I was just like, I think, because, Ryan Reynolds can be serious. I think it would be hard, but I'm hoping that he can channel his inner Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder and kind of like make people forget that it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. I'm curious what movie now. I'm looking through a list of his movies.
Yeah.
And I can't see one that looks super serious.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went with him, because I think he's a creep, and I think that he, from what I heard from at least this YouTube channel that I watched, that I feel as though is very, very genuine.
All I know is that I think I mentioned last week the movie Long Shot, and he does a really good job in that movie. And I was kind of surprised because he was more serious than he was comedic, which was nice. All right, so Brett, you have everybody now, and Criddle, you are missing who?
Argyle.
Okay.
I have 2 picks for Argyle. I'm trying to figure out which one I want. I mean, is Argyle... I haven't seen Die Hard in a while. Is Argyle more comedic or...
Yeah, he's more comedic and just a kid he's a young kid, doesn't really care about being... I mean, he was a taxi cab driver prior to being a limo driver, and he just is a talker, and he doesn't care about the rules about being a limo driver.
Okay, then I'm going with my second pick for Argyle, and then I'll leave my first pick as an honorable mention. So we're going with Anthony Mackie.
I know that name. Who is that?
That is Falcon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I wouldn't have agreed with you until Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Because of Twisted Metal.
Because of Twisted Metal.
I would say yes, he can.
Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why I put him on my list.
That's a great pick.
Is because of Twisted Metal, which I'm halfway through.
That's a great pick. I got our previous host on watching that, Taylor, and he binged it in a couple of days. He's like, it left me on a cliffhanger. I'm like, yep, but it's a great one.
It is.
And at least you know what you're going to get next season. I like that when you know what you're going to get the next season.
Well, and I hope it's more like the first part of episode 8, like just the wildness of that.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. All right, that's funny that we're all. Well, I guess never mind. You ended on Argyle, then Holly on your on the wheel pick there, Brett, and then Criddle went Argyle because now I have Argyle left. My Argyle, I don't know, Brett, if you know him as well. Criddle might. And I definitely won't recognize him by his name. I just know him by what he has played in. But his name is Utkarsh Ambudkar. Somebody.
Oh, I think I know.
He's a comedian. I think he's in
he
Parks and Rec, but he's in the show Ghost that I like.
Oh, okay.
He's the main male actor in that movie and that show. And I just think he would be the greatest because he is a talker. He is funny. And he's kind of got the same vibe as Argyle.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do a quick whole cast recount of what everybody has. So I have Josh Hutcherson, a.k.a. PETA, across from Florence Pugh from Black Widow, the sister. I'm trying to imagine this in my head. Okay. Then Hans Gruber's Christopher Waltz, which I think is my favorite pick on my whole thing. Sergeant Powell is Winnie the Bish, a.k.a. Lamore Morrison or Morse. Ellis is Cillian Murphy. And then Argyle is Utkarsh Ambudkar. And then Criddle, you have John McClane as Zac Efron. And Holly is Karen Gillian. And Hans Gruber is Peter Dinklage. I kind of want to see this movie too now. And Sergeant Powell is Damon Wayans Jr. Ellis is Tom Ellis, a.k.a. Lucifer. And Argyle is Anthony, what's his name again?
Mackie.
Mackie from Twisted Metal Falcon. Okay. Brett, you have John McClane as James McAvoy. Holly is Amy Adams. And then Sergeant Powell as Fat Ryan Reynolds. And, I skipped Hans. Hans is Liam Neeson. Ellis is Seth Rogen. And Argyle is Donald Glover. I like each one of these. I want all these to be a movie. Everybody, okay, 3 directors. Okay, we're going to make the same movie at the same time. Go.
Well, let's see. If I had a director, I'd do Michael Bay, so that there'd be so much, so many explosions.
Should we ever do that in the future when we recast? That'd be hard.
Hire a director?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because directors are kind of hard. I mean, not as snobby into movies to know all the directors. Like I used to know a decent amount of them.
Yeah, now I don't know any of them.
Christopher Nolan was no. I will not have Christopher Nolan do mine. I mean, Christopher Nolan for Brett's is not a good choice because you got fat Ryan Reynolds and you got
Christopher
Seth
Nolan.
Rogen.
Christopher Nolan would start off with Hans Gruber slowly plummeting, and then it would cut to hours before, and then there's something would happen, and then you would cut to a helicopter in slow motion with more Hans Gruber plummeting.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of who I'd want to direct this.
Tim Burton.
No. No, because then they get all those weird colors and
Jerry Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer wouldn't be bad.
No.
He
Richard Donner.
Richard Donner, what did he do?
Maverick, and also the first two Superman movies, I think.
Is he still
He also
doing
did.
movies?
He's dead.
Okay.
But
He did Lethal Weapon, you were going to say? I was about to say, I'm like, whoever did those movies, yeah, I'll do that.
Maybe yours, Louis Leterrier.
I don't know who that is.
He directs like the Incredible Hulk, the latest Fast and the Furious movie.
Okay.
Now You See Me.
Okay.
Oh, Now You See Me. That's a good movie.
What about Taika? Taika take it to the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And he's also done The Transporter. So, I mean.
Oh, Transporters. Yeah, that's right in line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what I kind of would. I'd be curious to see maybe with Criddles or mine, not yours, Brett.
I was thinking like maybe John Woo.
Yeah, John Woo's a good one. Guy Ritchie, though. Not Guy Ritchie. What's his name? Is it Guy Ritchie?
Yours maybe
Guy Ritchie would be a good one.
Guy Ritchie. I think Guy Ritchie, because he did the
Glorious Bastards, didn't he?
Yeah.
Was that him?
I don't know.
Oh.
He did Aladdin. He did
He did Aladdin?
the live action
He
Aladdin.
did?
Action one.
Really? I had no idea.
He did the Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I love the Sherlock Holmes. And he did Snatch, right?
Yeah.
He also did the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
Which I had so much more hopes for.
The Gentleman.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Let's see.
Yeah, I did not know he did Aladdin. Wow. That was, I felt like, decently done.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm going with Guy Ritchie.
You could do.
you could do J.J. Abrams.
What about Chad Stadisky, or I said it wrong, but the guy who did John Wick's?
Yeah, that also would be good. I thought about Keanu Reeves for my John McClane, but that was too on the nose.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it to be a John Wick movie.
No.
I considered Keanu Reeves. Well, I have honorable mentions.
Okay, yeah, let's get into the honorable mentions.
I'll go first, I guess. So my backups for John McClane was Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
Taron Egerton,
Ooh.
I thought about him.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Tom.
I had Joseph Gordon-Levitt as one of my honorable mentions.
and Tom Hiddleston.
I thought about Tom Hiddleston too, but I just couldn't.
And then for my Hans Gruber backups, I had Joe Pesci,
Okay.
Just hear me out. Okay.
and then Bryan Cranston.
Oh,
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
And then my backup Holly was Rosario Dawson.
That's
I
a
know
good
that
one.
name. Who is it? What movie is she? I just need to know which one she is because I have a couple girls in my head.
She plays Ahsoka in
Ahsoka.
Okay.
Ahsoka.
Okay.
My backup for Sergeant Al Powell, Nathan Fillion,
Okay.
Okay.
Topher Grace, and Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker. that might go with Brett's.
And then
Except he has Ryan Reynolds, so never mind. Because once you switch him out for that, then never mind. Chris Tucker wouldn't have been a terrible limo driver.
no
Argyle.
Argyle. Let's see. For my Ellis, backups, I had Wes Bentley.
Who's that?
He plays like the almost like the director of like the Hunger Games,
Oh,
like the black hair, like the
Yeah.
fancy beard.
has he been in anything else? Because I
He was in
That's the
I
only
think
thing I know of him.
Interstellar.
Who is he in Interstellar?
Man.
Man,
Guy.
guy.
I think he plays one of the scientists or something
okay.
in there. But anyways, he was one of my picks, and then I also had Woody Harrelson as an Ellis as well.
Oh.
That's a good Ellis right there.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, he's because Ellis is doing like cocaine, and we've seen him in Hunger Games drunk-ish and kind of annoying-ish. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it fits.
And then my backup for Argyle was Mos Def.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Mos Def. Is he still acting?
I don't know.
I don't know many outside of like 2 movies.
Yeah, Italian Job and Be Kind Rewind.
Yeah. So my honorable mentions for my Holly Gennaro was, Karen Gillan. I didn't choose her. I chose Amy Adams. And then here's my dilemma, and this is kind of why I went with I did Ryan Reynolds in a fat suit, not for the comedic things, but because I think that there could be a pull on the heartstrings, and I kind of also wanted a buddy cop situation where it wasn't too serious, because my other one that I was going to go for, but I could also see as kind of a Hans Gruber, would be Idris Elba.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have him as my backup.
I could also see as Hans Gruber Jeffrey Dean Morgan also.
Who's that again?
He plays in Rampage and
I
in
haven't
The
seen
Walking Dead.
Rampage.
The Walking Dead, he's Negan.
He's Dean's
He's Dean's dad, and he's Negan. Okay. As who?
as Hans Gruber.
I mean, yeah, he could pull that off. I would just be seeing Negan the whole time is the problem.
Yeah. And then for my other Argyle, I was thinking, it's the reason why I didn't go with this would be my number one choice over Donald Glover, but this actor, I didn't look up his name, but this actor has just gotten jacked in the past 10, 12 years, and this kind of changes the whole Argyle-ness. And that is the actor that plays Fez from that 70s show.
Oh yeah, that's true. But otherwise, yeah, I agree. So starting with my honorable mentions, John McClane. I said all mine, Kiana, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Josh Hutcherson was my pick. Hans Gruber, I had Idris Elba as my backup. Christopher Waltz is who I picked. One that I was really teetering on was Sterling K. Brown, which is, if you ever watched
Black Panther.
Yeah, he's on Black Panther. I don't know who he is on there though.
He plays, isn't it Michael B. Jordan's dad?
Yeah, I think that's it. Brett, if you Supernatural, he's the guy that hunts Sam. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember him. He's because he knows that Sam has demon blood in him.
Oh, okay.
So he's trying to kill him. He's also off this show. What's that one show that was on ABC or something like that? Was I can't remember. He plays the brother of Mandy Moore, or he was the son of Mandy Moore and all that. So anyway, and then Javier Bardem also was a possible, the bad guy from Skyfall as a Hans Gruber.
Oh, that's a good bad guy for Hans Gruber. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then Holly Gennaro, I had Brie Larson, Emily Blunt, Abigail Spencer as potentials. Sergeant Powell, I almost went in a different direction and did Octavia Spencer.
Oh.
You know who I was also thinking about is what's his face, Mandalorian guy. But then I was fearful that he's almost in everything. He's now.
Yes, I literally did not choose him for that exact reason.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
Pedro Pascal for Powell because of that same reason, because he's in everything.
yeah, because he's now the new Colin Farrell.
Yes.
Or what's his face from who now is in Napoleon, who is the Joker or whatever.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought of another Al Powell.
Who?
And Ethan Suplee.
Who's that?
He plays the big guy from Remember the Titans.
Oh, the big white guy.
Big white guy.
Okay, yeah,
I think he'd be a good Al Powell too.
yeah, I think so too. I don't think I've seen him super serious though. I'm just wondering him in an action movie.
There's that, and then he's also in Evolution.
Yeah, Evolution is where I still remember him being super comical. let's see. I don't have any backups for Ellis. I was just hoping that none of you would get Cillian Murphy. Argyle, I had Donald Glover as my backup, that you got him, and then I did the guy who plays the voice from Miles Morales is on the Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
As my third honorable mention there. So
I think we all have decent casts.
I agree. We all went slightly different directions, but that's what directors do. We're directors.
No, we're producers.
Oh yeah, we're producers. Now go and make it.
Yeah. We hire a director and then
And we have a
cast.
vision and
yeah. And then the director makes it work.
yep. All right. Now it's time for recommendations. So my recommendation it is I think I've done this every year about this time. Upload season 3. We finished that.
Oh, was that good?
It was good. It was good. It doesn't leave you. It leaves you on a cliffhanger like they always do. But no, I think it's still great. It's not as funny as season 1. Season 1 is the funny. Season 2 is more drama. Season 3 is more drama. So there is still plenty of comedy, but it's still enjoyable as a drama. And
How was his friend? Because like that was my
his friend is still very much in it.
Okay.
And still, and now his friend is more or less like it gets into trouble and they had to bail him out kind of stuff. So, the funnier thing is that they slowly have ramped up the guy who plays the AI, the robot redhead dude. He is more and more comedic every season. And so the third season, he's even more, but also it's like them trying to navigate and the situation they're in. That's mainly the story instead of, because I feel like just like in movies, before you get to sequels and all that stuff, the first season or the first movie that's where you get to have fun and explore this world, and then after that it's like we got to stay rigid with the story. And that's,
so are they pursuing more the murder mystery type of this? Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
That
good.
and the company side of like why he was murdered as well. So that's what it is. But I highly recommend it. I love the show, and I think it's a great show all around from season 1 to season 3. Has it dropped in quality? No, it hasn't dropped in quality. It just changed its dynamic of like what it's focusing on. That's all.
Well, my recommendation this week, if you're a fan of The Flash, there's a podcast they released a little bit ago called The Flash, The Midnight Circus. They're very short episodes, and you could probably get it. In total, it's probably less than a half hour or so. I don't know. I didn't look at the times fully, but
Is this the cast that does it, or who does it?
It's just a random. It's a random cast that does it. But it takes place years after the Flash movie. So if you're itching for a little more Flash, have a listen. It just takes place. Essentially, it's Barry screws up.
Oh, is this like a story?
Yeah, it screws up his life.
So they don't talk about the Flash. It's a story of
it's like a
continuation.
It's a continuation. And it takes place years after the Flash movie, and he kind of uses his powers to try and change something, and it screws everything up, and he tries to fix it again.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it looks like it's endorsed or produced by DC Comics, which has the Batman audio adventures, which they've actually turned into comics because of the popularity. So that's interesting.
So yeah, if you're a fan of the Flash and you want a little more from Mr. Barry Allen, go have a listen.
Excellent. I will have to check that out. All right. My one recommendation, this is an ingenious idea, especially, around Christmas time. There's always, as there is the is it or is it not a Christmas movie situation. And then there's so many Christmas movies, so many that are well loved, some that should probably be forgotten. But there's a plethora of Christmas movies, plethora of tastes. And it was kind of an interesting thing. And this one of the podcasts I was listening to recommend, like this guy, the host said how he watches Christmas movies, and I think it's ingenious. What they do is in November, they gather, their family together, their kids, and they discuss what Christmas movies would they like to watch, or what are their favorite Christmas movies? What is something that they'd like to watch at some point in time in December? And so what they do is if they own the DVD or if they know it's on streaming, what they'll do is they'll get a DVD case, they'll print off a cover, and then they'll wrap every single DVD, and then they kind of set it off to the side, kind of in a small Christmas tree right by the TV. And then one day, like a kid will unwrap it, and that is the Christmas movie that they watch a day.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I was like, that is ingenious, because it's just like, I want to watch, Muppets Christmas Carol, but like, it's just like, not today, not today. And then suddenly I'm like, I have to get this watched. It's almost Christmas time.
Yep.
And so I'm like, I like that, because it takes people's favorite things, puts them in one place, and then it's just almost random as what is selected.
Maybe I should do that for the 12 days of Christmas, like leading up to Christmas. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, you could even have placeholders.
Yeah.
You don't have to own the DVDs.
No. I mean, the reason why they say DVDs is because, you own it. There's no risk of
not being able to watch it.
Being there.
Did you guys see that TikTok I sent you?
I tried, but I'm not a TikTok user. But I'm.
That's weird, because whenever somebody sends me a TikTok at work, I just click on it and it loads it immediately, and I'm not signed in or anything. So I thought it would allow you to.
I tried. Let me try again.
The guy just goes on about how DVDs, Blu-rays are becoming the vinyl of our day. So people are now making the shift back to hard copies.
Oh yeah. No, I went from about 5 years ago purging as many things, just buying them physically or buying them on iTunes or whatnot.
Oh, now it's playing.
And then uploading it onto, either Movies Anywhere or something like that, to now, to now I'm like, you hear rumors that they're doing this. I went out of my way and bought the Who Framed Roger Rabbit DVD because Disney, it was rumored, I'm not sure if it's true, was going to desexify Jessica Rabbit because, she's like, it's not appropriate or whatever. And it's just like, no, this is how it's done. This is her character. You cannot change it. So when they started doing certain things, when they took off 2 episodes of Community because of
Like blackface?
Yeah, because of the Black Elf by the Spanish teacher, whatever his name is. I was just like, nope, I'm going to own that physically too, because you can't take it away from me if I physically own it.
Mm-hmm.
I still buy physical copy movies. And I mean, I find it a bonus if I'm able to get it and have a digital copy with it too.
Yeah.
Some people I don't know if it's here. They do it a lot here in Utah, but in Idaho, like people would literally buy the physical copy and sell the digital copy and sell the second copy of like the movie as well. So like they just want the Blu-ray or the 4K, and then they'll sell the DVD and they'll sell the digital.
Oh.
And then that way they can try and recoup some of their money.
Gotcha. I know Brett used to do that with just redeeming the digital and selling the...
I had such a scheme going on. And so what I would do is around Black Friday, when I would just watch all of these movies plummet in price. And if they had a DVD and a digital copy, I would buy it. And then what I would do is I would redeem the digital copy. And then after Black Friday or a week or whatever, Amazon would willingly buy things back to you. And all you'd have to do is click it as new, which means it was still in its original packaging, which it wasn't. Like new, which is just like new, except that it was open from the package, or whatever. And so I would always click like new, and I basically was selling it back to them for more than I paid for it. And so I basically got free movies and TV series while owning them digitally. And then I think it was not just me, but a couple other people had that practice, and then Amazon stopped doing it.
I forgot what I was going to say. Does anybody... And did anybody participate in Black Friday? Because it seemed like it was a big joke this year.
It was bad this year.
I bought 3 things on Black Friday, and they were all movies.
Oh, I remember what I was originally going to say. Does anybody have a practice? It's not really a practice. It's just we happen to see it where you buy something from Amazon and then you see it like a month later at a much cheaper price. And then, so me and my wife have done this a couple times by accident. It's like, oh, we're just looking at it like, wait a minute, it's on sale for like $100 cheaper. So what we end up doing is we end up buying it and then returning the old like one from Amazon, but then just sending the new one we just got, so we don't have to like box ours back up again. And I'm just like, there should be a better way of doing this. And like, if there is a way, I need to know how to do it because it's really annoying. Like, do you just tell Amazon? Do they have like a 30-day like, hey, if this drops in price, you get recouped?
Well, they used to. Like, what was it?
It's like a price guarantee or something.
Yeah, if they do have that, then. But their windows of return is longer, probably.
Well, like, what was it? Last year for Black Friday, I bought Amazon's version of a Fitbit or whatever. And it was, so basically they were selling it for $89. But for Black Friday, they gave me a $60 like coupon, or it was whatever, where I basically was paying $20. I'm like, I'll pay $20 for this Fitbit thing. So, and then some random day in like March of this year, Amazon I got a text message saying this much money has been redeposited into your account from Amazon. And I'm like, that's weird. So I go to I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, why this is happening.
Why are you giving me my money?
Is this a scam? And then I checked my email and Amazon emailed me saying, because of certain things, like, you know, here is $20 back on your thing. So I got it for free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never had anything like that for Amazon. Not that I know of, at least.
No.
All right. Well, have a happy holidays.